Here's some examples of some angles on parallel lines questions. Here on question A, I can see I've got two parallel lines there and a line going through them. So these four angles are effectively the same as these four angles because they both share being on one of these parallel lines and they both share this straight line here. We can see X is at the top of the four angles and 116 is at the top of the four angles, so they are corresponding angles, and X must equal 116 degrees. If I was asked to state a reason, I can say that they're corresponding angles. Question B, again, the four angles here and the four angles here both share being on one of these two parallel lines and both share this straight line here. So the four angles are effectively the same as the four angles. Now this time 124 is in the top right and X is in the top left. They're not corresponding, not in the same position anymore, but they are opposite where the other would be. X could be there or 124 could be there. And we know the opposite angles are the same. So again, X equals 124 degrees, but this time they are alternate angles. So if I was asked to give a reason, I could say they're alternate angles. Question C is a bit different. Again, I've got four angles that are sharing a pair of parallel lines and this straight line here, but straight away I might notice that X is an acute angle and 125 degrees is an obtuse angle. So even if I get mixed up on my rules or I need to guess, it can't be the same this time because they're different angles. Okay. However, what I might notice is this angle here is corresponding to this angle here. So this angle here must be 125 degrees. And now I know that this angle, my 125, and X are on a straight line, so they must add up to 180. So X must equal 180 minus the 125, which equals 55 degrees. They're also sometimes called co-interior angles. This angle and this angle must add up to 180. Part D is a slightly longer one, and sometimes you see ones like this and even more complex ones than this. When you see ones like this, you don't worry so much about X or Y or A and B, you just find which angles you work out. When I saw this angle, this question for the first time, the first one I wanted to work out was this one here. I knew that this angle here is 126 degrees because it's opposite the 126. Now that might be useful to me, or it might not be useful to me, I don't know, but there's no harm in working it out. And as I go on, I can just work out more and more angles until I can work out X and Y. I could also work out that this little angle here must be 54 degrees because it's on a straight line with my 126. This is a straight line here, Those two angles must add up to 180, so that little one there must be 54 degrees. And actually what I might notice is this here is corresponding to X. They both share this straight line here, and they both share these parallel lines here and here. So this is corresponding, and I've had a bit more space, I'd have written 54 here. It's corresponding to X, so X must be 54 degrees. Now again, I need to work out Y. Again, if I'm not sure, I might just work out different angles. There are lots more different angles I could work out. But one thing I have noticed is that Y is in a triangle with this angle here and X, and I've already worked out X. So if I can work out this angle here, then I've got a triangle where I know two of the angles. And actually this angle here isn't going to be too tricky to work out because it's sharing a straight line with 119. We know angles on a straight line must add up to 180. So if I do 180 minus 119, this angle here must be 61 degrees. And now I can use my angles in a triangle rule. I know that there's my triangle. I can ignore all the parallel lines, everything else going around it. It's still a triangle. The interior angles must still equal 180 degrees. I've got so far 54 and 61 degrees. So far I've used up 115 degrees, but altogether I know it's 180. I might use my Casio calculator to take off the 115 to leave me with 65 degrees. So Y must equal 65 degrees. There are loads of different ways I could have done that, loads of different rules I could have used, but the main thing was I just worked out the first angles that I could and kept going until I found a way of working out X and Y.